Every 30 seconds, another true crime podcast comes out. Every 15 seconds, a supernatural one. Every 10 seconds, another movie one. And welcome to it. Welcome back to Videorama, where we take your request for a topic and give you our recommendations. We received a message from a woman who has an addiction to porn, don't we all? And she'd like to ease the transition to quitting porn, so she's looking for recommendations for movies that have porn stars. I know that you who are not watching on YouTube and just listening, you probably thought that we had Sylvester Stallone in the studio, but it was just me. It's acting.
It was actually Frank Stallone.
Yes. We had the better half. My name is Linda, but as usual, you can call me the Cheese.
My name is Adrian, and you can call me anytime.
And I'm Donnie, and I like a little tiny bit of ketchup with my fries.
And we have guests and a guest cat.
Who are these people?
Who are we, Steve?
Oh, hey everybody, I'm Steve.
And I'm Izzy.
And we're with Everything I Learned from Movies. But you can call us Pig.
And this is Poe. She'll probably
Pig
be
and
singing
Poe.
in the background.
Now, every time I say your guys' podcast name, I can't just say it.
So you have to sing it. It just rolls off the tongue. Yeah.
Well, thanks to watching this movie, I now want to have two cats in each hand and kind of clank them together above my head and have a meeting every
I can
time.
make that happen. Where's the other cat?
Yeah. Cameron, come forth.
Your sick society can't stop us.
That's right. We may even settle for a pickleless cage. Pickles. That's all.
Yes. So, any of you who have had been gifted enough to have listened to Everything I Learned from Movies, you will know that they are true Nicolas Cage fans. And last I heard of those Cage's Kiss people, I think they were murdered in a back alley fight with these guys.
Oh God, is
So,
that what happened to him? I assumed it was autoerotic asphyxiation, but
As is
Their
tradition.
Learjet went
evasion.
down in the Arctic, and they all ate one another.
It was a sausage factory accident.
We bought a truffle pig and we had an adventure.
That
The
was
end.
no accident.
Accident.
Well, obviously, they stole a truffle pig and were murdered in vengeance.
oh,
Yeah.
that seedy underbelly of the Portland fine dining. Oh,
Guess who's
guys,
talking?
seriously, go see Pig. It's awesome. It's not what you hope it is, but it's still pretty dang good.
It's not what you hope it is, but it's everything it deserves to be.
We're in
You heard it here
Washington
first.
State, so we were like this close to just taking a road trip and like seeing if we could meet him. But then we all had like that stupid work thing get in the way.
Ugh.
But
Oh.
yeah, our guests today have chosen a recommendation for our customer. Care to introduce our movie?
Well, before they do, as I said, I actually have to apologize. I haven't gotten to eat yet, so I had to go and get food before the podcast. So I have myself some Frenchy fries. And while you go ahead and describe that, I'm going to put on a little bit of ketchup and start eating these fries. So at your ready, Mr. Turner.
Oh, boy, can we talk over this ASMR?
Oh, please do.
That is
So this movie,
There's a lot of ketchup.
Steve, fries
It's
are
only
merely
a
a
little.
vessel for ketchup for this man.
Well,
Obviously, something's gone horribly wrong in his life. We're not here to judge.
He's got a
Yeah.
garbage belly. Don't
I
worry,
have a garbage belly.
he'll be finished
Donnie.
pouring the ketchup when we're finished recording.
oh,
Yes, Adrian?
You
Well,
should
while
try
he's doing
maybe
that,
some
let me
fish,
get
you
some
know,
dessert
like
out
fish
of-
and rice.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I need a life preserver.
Yeah.
So please tell us about this movie.
Well, the movie we picked was 1985's Canon film production Cobra,
Yeah.
starring Sylvester Stallone of Italian Stallion.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
His
there were a lot
penis.
of other directors and stuff when we were given the topic of people that used to do porn and then did movies, but it's like,
Well, I mean, Peter North is just such a storied career. Everybody is like
That's
so
true.
well acquainted with that. We don't want to be a stereotype.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we went with the obvious choice that everybody knows. Also, we had recently seen Tarzan the Ape Man. We didn't want to talk about it again. So,
But it's a
love Miles
classic
O'Keefe.
cinema.
man, that movie. Wow. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
It's
No.
not- it's
John
Talk about
Derek's
Cobra.
not in
Tarzan
jail.
is-
How does that work?
It's America. What do you want?
Oh, it's
How is there still ketchup in that bottle?
Oh, it's just a little bit. Don't worry.
All right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
Top of
here they
my top
come.
here.
oh,
Got our,
my top.
Buffalo Soldier Black Rye PAs from Utah Brewing in Ogden, Utah.
Aw. I want the
Shame.
boozing.
The label's not gonna.
You've got ketchup.
Yeah, say,
Yeah, cheers, Donnie.
I just need vodka, and then I got myself a Bloody Mary.
If
Oh,
I was
God.
Mr. Stallone, it'd be a beer or a Pepsi right here. Yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah, he was the Pepsi generation.
This is the greatest product placement ever
No,
in any
they
movie.
had one product placement for his partner, I think, was drinking a Coke with the label out. And then there was the neon sign for Pepsi behind him.
yeah.
Well, in
Yeah.
the grocery store, there's a huge Pepsi display that's getting
Which
shot
gets
There's
apart.
blown
the
up.
Pepsi, the very cold Pepsi display, and Stallone's apartment apparently faces a Pepsi sign.
Yep.
Yeah.
Working too hard, trying to make a living.
I'm surprised when he didn't pop open the freezer to pull out his gun egg carton and pizza to cut with scissors that he didn't also pull out a cold Pepsi.
He
Okay, you don't
did
put
pull
Pepsi
out
in
a
the
Coors
freezer,
Light though.
Steve.
Why not?
He did get a
But he-
Coors from the fridge when he was taking a break. He popped a Coors, even though it was warm, and he had to drink it and throw it for a distraction. So
I'd just be willing to bet that Coors and Pepsi are somehow related. It's just
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they've all got to be Yum brands, right?
just like how in Santa Claus, the movie with Dudley Moore, how everything is Coca-Cola and McDonald's, and you're always looking at Coca-Cola and McDonald's logos. It's like, oh, this kid is impoverished. I'm going to get him a Coca-Cola and some McDonald's. Good,
it's
wholesome food.
better than
American
Happy
dream.
Gilmore and the subway train.
I'm just saying, like Santa Claus, the movie is right there with Mac and me.
R.I.P. Dudley
Mhm.
Moore. And for listeners, Donnie is still pouring his goddamn ketchup.
Yeah, what the
He's
hell?
gonna
I
use
like
the
a
whole
little
bottle.
ketchup with my
Use the
fries.
whole bottle. Just drink it straight. Just do a ketchup shot for us. Ketchup shot. Ketchup
Oh.
shot. Ketchup shot.
Oh.
How is he still single?
Ketchup bombs for the lady.
I'm
Chase
engaged. So, what movie are we talking about?
Lucille got
talking
herself a real
about-
winner.
George Pan Cosmotos' masterpiece. That's what we're talking about.
Cosmotos.
Cosmotos,
Oh,
written by Stallone, based on the same book that Baldwin movie Fair Game was based on.
And Cindy Crawford.
With a slightly, you're right, and that movie has got so many problems, including several $1 million worth of reshoots that were based on racism and casting.
Yeah.
oh.
Fun fact. Yeah.
I watched this with my husband Carlos, and
Why?
he's because he was actually entertained. I was too. I mean, it's one of those
Linda, do
movies
you have
that
a
are,
husband
It's-
named Carlos? Did you
Maybe.
really? Do you-
this week I think I do. It's one of those movies that are so fucking stupid. It's amazing, and it just like crosses over.
Amazing. It's not stupid.
It is amazing. I like to drop a couple of knowledge bombs here while I'm talking.
Are any of them about the Martian Manhunter?
What?
It's
I'm the
alien
non
man.
sequitur guy.
Sorry,
I know
the
the
Alien
Dude.
Manhunter,
You're talking
whatever.
to people that know what DC comics are, so it's just going to confuse them.
No,
While we were watching it, Carlo said two things that I had to share. One was like, the problem is I love pizza, but I only like eating it chips.
Just a tip.
Just the
He just respects his body. That's his temple, and only so much pizza's gonna get in at one time.
And he's only going to cut it with scissors because knives are dangerous.
And he's got these.
He's
like,
ice cold, no mistakes.
Well, normally
got
he
the
shoots
leather
it off,
gloves
but his
on.
gun was
Right.
being clean, so it wasn't pushing it.
Explosions are more precise than bullets.
Yeah,
Steve, but that's
as we
another
learned
movie.
8 years later. And
Oh, you're talking about how you could shape
Specialist
the
was directed
charges?
by a porn director, if I'm not mistaken.
By the way, guys, we almost chose a specialist because
Oh.
James Woods
Oh.
is a human piece of garbage, but he is spectacular on
Oh,
film.
on screen
Oh,
though,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Without a
I'll watch him
doubt.
all day on screen.
He has a wonderful presence. He just needs to not open his mouth when he's not reading his lines.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's Vampires is like the perfect thing for him because he's a
That's what I was
disgusting
thinking of.
hero in that.
You get a little
Better
bit of
shave
wood
your
when I was
ass,
beating on you earlier, huh? A little
Father,
mahogany.
'cause you're the baby.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. For people who haven't seen the movie yet, you should fix that. It's on. You could rent it on Prime, Voodoo, Tubi, all the usual places. But he wears these black leather gloves throughout the whole thing, and you never see him cleaning said gloves. But
Fingerless
he
gloves.
grabs-
Fingerless gloves.
It was a different time.
Just palm protectors.
he grabs the slice of pizza, gets some scissors, and cuts off the tip of the pizza. and
Oh
eats
no, you don't need to describe it, Linda. I got stills of the whole thing, like in
Oh,
sequence. Yeah.
ass.
Well, so here's the thing. He pulls it out of the freezer, but we see that he is in a palatial Los Angeles apartment that's nothing but
Yeah.
windows. So obviously,
Yeah,
that's a
in an
convection
LA
oven. It's already cooked by the time he walks over to
penthouse.
the desk.
Obviously.
That's why he's got to wear gloves to protect his hands.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get cold little fingies.
But they'd be
And he's
hot
got his
because
desk
it'd be
in
on
there.
Fire because the convection oven that is the apartment.
He's got his super advanced computer with multiple monitors in there too. It's
Oh, yeah.
totally bitchin'. He's like Ferris Bueller or something.
And his rhinoceros that holds his keys that's sitting on top of the TV.
Working too hard, trying to make a living.
Guys,
Carlo
we
was
can talk
also-
about the whole episode just about the 30 seconds he's in his apartment in this movie.
Right.
I
Well,
want to
that's
know
one of the
more
best
about his
parts.
apartment.
But
Carlo also said, why does he keep his gun pointed at his dick the whole time? They make holsters for people like you.
he's into docking.
What the hell,
They're
man?
too imprecise. He can control his belt buckle.
He's into docking and sounding, extreme sounding. But later on, we get the montage with the Angels of the City cross-cut with Brigitte Nielsen and the robots,
That was
right?
great. I loved
Which
it.
is
Yes.
freaking sweet. Okay, I'd like to point
What is
out a
with
certain
Stallone movies
song.
and robots, by the way, guys?
You gotta have robots. It's fashion. Fashion equals robots equals your boss trying to sleep with you.
What
Um,
was she trying to
Yeah.
sell?
But
Put that on me, Donnie.
What?
Don't whip that out.
but originally there was a song written for, I'm assuming written for Jesus H. Christ. There's a song written for that montage by Stan Bush.
There's
that wound
fries
up
in there.
in another movie. Okay, can you guess which song was written for Cobra but not used in it?
Oh, I know the answer.
Some of
to
you
this.
might know. You know this one. Okay, yeah. You got the touch.
Yeah.
You got the power.
Oh, the 80s.
Yeah, Stan Bush's "You Got the Touch," famously used in Transformers the movie, was written for Cobra. And for years, people come up to Stan Bush and be like, "Oh man, your song's so bitchin'. I love Transformers." And Stan Bush would be like, "Okay, what the shit are you talking about?" Because Stan Bush did not know what movie it had wound up in.
Yeah, everybody knows
Badly.
Vince DiCola sang the other Transformers song.
Transformers!
You know, and you got your "Dare to Be Stupid" by Weird Al. I mean, that's a masterpiece too. We're not selling Transformers short, you know. But that's
and
what could have been.
Transformers does that.
listeners who
Angels
can't
of the
see,
City.
Donnie has basically a plate full of fucking
It is not a
Ketchup.
plate
I
full.
saw it. It's a
A
bowl.
little bit. And there
It's a
are
bowl.
French fries in there. You saw me empty the fries.
You're missing the culinary genius of what's going on here.
Oh my God! You can't see the fries.
Kind of looks like Hellraiser 2 right there on that plate there, Donnie.
Well, it's sort of like the blood orgy from Event Horizon. All plates.
You know,
Such wonderful.
Not
things.
Orgy of the She-Devils, is that what
she does it in the movie, and it's whimsical and fun. I do it, and I'm a poster child
Disgusting.
for bloodthirst.
Or high society.
Yeah.
Shunting.
Oh,
My
God,
fries
guys.
do not need a
Speaking
life
of
preserver.
Hellraiser, Andrew Robinson's in this movie.
No,
Yes.
not just Andy Robinson, right? There is also Rennie Santoni. So we get 2 cast members from the 1971 Dirty Harry. And this is like trying to be the Dirty Harry of the 80s, as over the top as it is.
Over
Oh,
the
don't look like
top,
cops. Oh, she must be talking about you.
Zombie Squad.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got a job that nobody else wants.
So in the beginning, I was thinking like, one, it's dangerous to be Hispanic in LA apparently, and
Oh, yeah.
Talking about your
Yes.
good cit-
Yes. That is
yeah,
exact.
anywhere near him, I think, because
Sylvester
Sylvester Stallone comes in, he hits this car and moves it out of his space, and then he rips the guy's shirt off, if that's not enough. And
It's bad for your health, you know.
when he does, you could see his mic taped to his
Yeah,
chest.
Yeah, very,
It's a
very
wire.
briefly.
It's a wire.
It's a blink if you miss
obviously.
it.
Yeah, so either A,
Oh, that guy died in the next scene. Oh my God.
I have like 2 things. Yeah, either A, Cosmotos saw it and didn't give a shit, or 2, Cobra essentially murdered an informant.
And
Well, he says
Oh,
bad
shit,
for
sorry,
himself.
but I didn't recognize you. Let me put that back up there for you.
Also, this
You're a
car
good
that
citizen.
he uses to bash people around with, that is one of Stallone's private cars. It's his personal vehicle he brought in
That
for
would
the
be.
production.
I heard that was
And-
stolen at some point.
Yeah, I was telling him about that.
yeah.
That Stallone used to frequent Ain't It Cool News in the forums, and he would go and reply. So they decided to have a huge Q&A with him, and they asked him about the car from Cobra, and he said, unfortunately, yes, somebody broke into his storage unit and they stole the car, and
And
he's
the
still
LAPD
offering a
couldn't
reward
replace it.
for said car
Yeah,
because
it
he
wasn't his
really,
budget.
really loved that car.
How much of a reward?
What's it
I mean,
worth?
I was 6.
6-year-old
Note
Steve
to
got
self,
on his bike, rode from Utah to Los Angeles, stole Stallone's car, drove it back with his bike in the back.
It sounds preposterous, but one of us has an awesome 50 and one of us doesn't.
What, you don't do that? You got,
Awesome
that's how you
50s.
stay fit. You know, you take an interstate bike ride every morning. You know.
Yeah.
Just hearing about all that just makes me think of, I think it was the Drew Carey show when he won the 1990s Batmobile and he's
right.
just driving around casually.
Oh, well, Carlo and I were talking about that because you would think that it's the fucking Batmobile with this little car chase scene.
He's got it
Yeah.
souped up. It's fucking great. Yeah, he's got fucking nitrous in there or some shit. Yeah. You get
It's the
that
original
bitch
Fast and the
chasing
Furious.
Oh.
I guess it's the remake of the original 50s.
Yeah,
I mean, he
the
does
John
sound like
Ireland
Dom,
movie,
so
yeah.
yeah, it works.
When he, like, that car goes through so much. And, like,
Yeah, he smashes through the side of a parking garage and it's fucking awesome. 2 tanker trucks explode and he just goes right through it.
Yeah. He's like, oh, let me turn on the AC.
Oh, that's the nitro.
Whoa!
in the parking garage on the 2nd floor and drives off
Yeah.
to the side.
It's awesome.
As you do.
Oh, it's
Oh shit, I
awesome.
misjudged.
He fixed up the suspension. No further questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just real good. Car's real good. They really built him back then. Yeah.
That's an American car right there.
Um,
It's American tough.
so apparently, when Cobra was getting ready to go to theaters, they were really worried about competition for the other big 1986 movie that was like the biggest movie in America and the world. Top Gun was out, and they're like, "Well, shit, you know, like we're gonna have to work hard to top Top Gun, so we need more showings." And so they drastically edited down the movie.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. That's why it's so short, even though it's perfect.
It's a
We
pretty
don't
good
have any
sized
of that
film.
gay shit.
Yeah, they
Wasn't it
decided they
originally
needed to
like
sell it
2.5
more.
hours or something like that.
It was
Yeah.
it was a little longer. Well, Cosmotos usually goes, a little bit longer. And Stallone as a director tends to go a little bit longer too, but they just needed to get more showings in, so they basically reduced it mostly to Stallone scenes. Originally, apparently, there were more
Two and a
scenes with
half
Stallone.
hour lovemaking scene.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, so you're
I
saying it was
envision the
Color of
room.
Night originally? Stallone's walking along, gets bit by a snake, just balls Bridget Nielsen for 30 minutes. This is crazy. Oh, wow. I need to get back to being a model or something. Being Dolph Lundgren's girlfriend.
They actually asked him what it was like being married to her, and he said it was literally like living with a wild cougar. That's the only way
And
he
this
could
is a
describe
man
it as
who'd
being
already-
a good thing and a bad
This is a man
thing.
who'd already been with Grace Jones, so
Yes.
Nice.
And punched
Wow.
a ghoulie in a hotel shower.
Yeah.
Shit happens. What? You want to blame people? Apparently, the
You
gym
wanna
I
fight
used to
about
go to,
it?
somebody tried that in the public gym, and then they tried to get the deuce down the drain, and they tried for 30 minutes, and the water got cold, and they had to call the police on them.
Anyway,
God, wait, segment from that.
and that was poop talk. Now back to the show.
Fuck off.
and I'm the ketchup monster.
Hey, ketchup monster, where's Amy?
She's where you left her.
Amy? Amy, what happened? What did you do? Amy, this is serious. Damn it! Where is it, Amy? Where is my money? Well, I'm glad you asked. So Cobra happened on May 23rd of 1986, just like a little miracle.
A little miracle.
It cost the $25 million. They were hoping to recreate that epic box office from Rambo First Blood Part 2, which was also Cosmotos and Stallone. Didn't quite make it. That one was like insane profit margin. This one cost $25 million worldwide. It made $160 million. It did open at number 1. It was right ahead of Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, and for that, it actually knocked Top Gun out of the number 1 spot that week.
Oh.
Yeah, because Top
Really?
Gun was number 3.
Good for them.
Then you get your let's not sell Top Gun short. Come on, it's the gayest movie ever made.
Yeah.
Hanging with the boys.
Well, maybe
That's the toy.
maybe not as gay as Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but it's pretty gay.
Okay, yeah.
But
No. I will fight you on that. Top Gun's much gayer.
do we have to go a blow by blow screening where he goes to his gym teacher's leather bar, guys? Come on.
Yeah.
But
Dance in the room.
number 4, you got your Short Circuit. Number 5, you got
Yeah.
Sweet Liberty. I don't know what that is. And then you get
Oh.
JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. Then Police Academy 3. Then Down and Out in Beverly Hills. I'm Paul
Ooh.
Mazursky, and I'm a legitimate filmmaker. Oh, you're hot. Then you get A Room with a View. Oh, terribly. Oh, I believe I shall have a picnic. Oh. Then Pretty in Pink. Then Gung Ho. Then Hannah and Her Sisters. And then a bunch of other shit. But the point is, number 1 was Cobra. Yeah.
Yay.
Cool.
Woo!
And if Cosmotos sounds sounds familiar to you, that's for a good reason. Because he is the father of Panos, Hands of Fate.
We
Cosmotos.
love Panos, but George P. had quite a few because he had the Cassandra Crossing and he had Of Unknown Origin with Peter Weller, and Escape to Athena with Roger Moore, but mostly Leviathan.
Yeah.
Fucking
And
Leviathan.
Tombstone, baby.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and Tombstone.
yeah. That's
love
and then he went out on a Charlie Sheen movie. Unfortunately, after that was the Shadow Conspiracy, and everybody agrees it's like this is a terrible embarrassment.
I'm going to
Have
get into
all
it
of-
later, but they did not have nice things to say about Cosmotos in this film.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Izzy. It looked like you were saying something.
Oh, I was just gonna say, have you guys seen Road to Athena
Escape to
or
Athena.
Escape to Athena?
Oh yeah, I've seen the shit out of it. Sonny Bono's in it, and David Niven. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
It is all over. But yeah, no, when you get Elliot Gould doing his thing, ahoy, ahoy.
Roger Moore is a Nazi.
Why
Yeah.
not? He's anything he wants to be, darling.
Yeah, Elliot Gould, I think, is supposed to be our like love interest.
Oh
Well,
my.
you know, he was considered kind of dreamy at the time, you know, in the
I'm
70s.
looking this shit up right
Oh,
now.
Yeah.
You
I
never saw
know.
his kiss with Athena?
Yeah, he was Jeff Goldblum, but 10 years earlier, so 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, we saw the Devil and Max Devlin. Come on.
Yeah. For some reason, it's not on Disney Plus. I can't
Why is
understand
it
why.
Yeah, it's a Disney movie. Bill Cosby is the devil.
Disney's not like, we never made Something Wicked This Way Comes. We never made The Black Cauldron. That wasn't us. That was the other Disney. Honest.
Yeah.
They pretend
Telly
they didn't make the
Savalas.
island at the top of the world. Like there's a shitload of their catalog they disowned over the years. You know, it's like no, this isn't a part of our. I'm gonna blame Eisner because since Michael Eisner is such a fucking piece of shit.
That works for me.
Right, Eisner.
Mm.
Ha! Who gets the last laugh now?
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Take that.
Disney does because of the copyright laws.
Oh, Elizabeth Taylor.
We already owed the mouse like $45.
all over the world.
So, am I the only one who thought that Agent Stock is like the poor man's Stalker Channing?
Yeah.
I kept thinking, like,
Is that the betrayal chick?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never liked that bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just making a call.
Oh, okay. So half of what I love about this movie isn't just the movie, because it's amazing, but it's all the stuff they had to cut from the 2.5-hour version. Because you watch this movie, obviously Andy Robinson's the bad guy, right? Like in
the original script he was supposed to be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's
just
obvious
opposite
watching
me.
this movie that like there's 3 or 4 times whatever he says, obviously he's the bad guy, because he's like, oh, there's no way there's more than one person doing this. Like, they just came from somewhere where 4 people were trying to kill them.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
a coincidence.
Obviously, you're against it. But yeah.
Give me your badge and gun, Cobretti.
Marianne
That's,
Corporate.
like, most of
There's
his
also the stuff they
career.
didn't get to shoot because originally they were going to have a climax on the Puget Sound where there was like driving a motorcycle between boats, but there was like a huge mosquito problem going on at
Yeah,
that
it's
time.
supposed to be between ferries on like different islands.
Magical fairies from the land of Puget Sound.
They are magical.
Have you seen them?
No, we
Make
didn't
a
take
wish
that
and
drug.
clap your hands.
You have to eat that entire bottle of ketchup to see the fairy.
That's what I'm working on.
Have you seen
I got
something?
plans tonight.
Donnie, you going to get to beat us. Mhm.
What's gonna get him first, the sugar or the salt?
Sugar and the
Place your bets
salt.
now.
Baby, can you hear me?
Or the runs.
Yeah, we're gonna really go to Twitter for that poll.
Man with the runs.
Oh, God.
God damn it.
Where are we even with this movie now?
Speaking of beautiful music, this movie had a score by Sylvester LeVay, who wrote some disco hits with fucking Giorgio Moroder and arranged the score to Scarface. He wrote Fly, Robin, Fly
Okay.
and Get Up and Boogie. Get Up and Boogie. He's
Okay.
fucking awesome.
All right.
I would like to know.
The cover.
It kind of does. I'd like to know how in the fuck he got access to 4 grenades. Do they just like let him do whatever?
Who's in
Yeah,
the
he's
other
on the zombie
PC?
squad.
What more do you
he
want?
just like makes a little
The zombie
shopping
squad.
list. He's
Yeah.
got like a personal shopper down at the department who's like, well, I'm gonna have to go down to the military for this one, so give me 2 days.
That's cool.
And nobody's we gotta talk about that opener though, where the psycho guy from the cult is shooting up the grocery store. And we get to see that wonderful Christmas time 80s grocery store. He blows up a shopping cart with his shotgun.
Yeah,
You know,
he
and-
didn't shoot anyone. He just shot every display he could, and I did not blame him,
And
especially
people
during
are
Christmas time.
cowering
Guy.
in fear
There was
down
one person
the
he shot,
frozen
Yeah,
aisle.
there's like the one young guy.
Yeah, the
there's-
one guy who
Yeah.
tried to get involved. That's why you don't engage those people when you work at a
Exactly.
supermarket.
No. It's
Don't
not.
be a
Run,
hero.
run the fuck away. Yeah.
You just smile, nod, maybe.
We're
Yeah,
part of the
then
new
hi.
world.
All right,
order.
bud. Have a
Like, you
Merry
don't get
Christmas
me.
and shit. Asshole.
Nice gun. You must have a huge dick. Well,
Right.
gotta go.
Well, that's what gets you shot, Linda.
Craft
That's where you
singles
get
are
shot
on
at.
aisle 3.
Somebody works in customer service.
I'm gonna do it, man. I'm gonna blow this whole place up. Yeah, it's all right. I don't shop here.
By the way, the actor that plays the guy holding up, Marco Rodriguez, every time I see him in like a movie in the 80s and 90s and stuff, I can only see him as the dad from Hamlet 2.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
very well spoken.
Oh, that's the
and
same
like,
fella.
yeah. Like, well, I'm an award-winning architect and my wife has 3 degrees in art science or whatever.
I think I made Adrian watch that
You did.
the day before my wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, I heard you're getting married.
Rock me, rock me,
I
rock me,
was-
sexy Jesus.
I was the lead bridesmaid, by the way. Yeah.
No,
He
you were
was
not.
my
I was. Never
he
the
was my bitch of honor, and
That's right.
so was Donnie.
Did they look good in the dresses?
I didn't make them.
Magnanimous.
He didn't go
They
that
were
route
Jesus-like
that time.
robes. They're not technically dresses.
It's called kilt, Steve. It's called kilt.
No, yeah, no,
I-
they had the cowl and everything. We prepared the goat. It was quite a ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah, we all wore the robes, and actually, we all wore outfits from the what do you call it, the village people, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
got some axes, and we were doing some calisthenics, which
It was just an
Yeah,
80s
when
music
Ice
video.
Summer Day or whatever.
and that had nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, and
you don't
Stallone
see
was
any
there.
axes in action.
It doesn't matter. It
It was
looks
cut,
cool.
guys. We missed out on
Yeah.
so much cult footage.
Yeah,
I know.
but they
Yeah,
got that
what's
cool
Brian
base at the
Thompson's
foundry.
backstory? I've got to know.
Well, Brian Thompson wanted to know what Brian Thompson's backstory was.
Yeah.
Also, trouble.
And
yeah,
that's
that guy's so
probably,
fucking great, though.
a good way to segue into a little something. Linda knows stuff. Don't act all surprised. I'm allowed to know stuff. True. So, Stallone was initially chosen to play the lead role in Beverly Hills Cop, but he suggested a bunch of changes to the script, and it would have like nixed all the funny bits and made it more action.
Yeah.
But the filmmakers, surprise, surprise, decided to go with a different direction. And the script that he really wanted kind of ended up becoming like evolving into the first draft of Cobra. But I should say that I got I either got or verified a lot of my facts from an interview in 2012 with Movie Geeks United. So shout out to them. But in that interview, Brian Thompson, fucking love him, by the way. And I want to see him be a good guy.
Flying hard.
Oh,
You could see him be a good guy.
Hired to Kill is a movie you guys need to
Where
see.
he
It's
makes
from
out with Oliver
1990.
Reed. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he makes out with
Yes.
Oliver Reed. Yeah. I love it.
It's a fantastic 90 minutes of awesomeness with
We're-
Brian Thompson as the
I know.
star.
We're trying to get him on our podcast, Everything I Learned from Movies, and we want to know what Oliver Reed tastes like.
Oh,
It was from the director of .com for
Wishes
Murder
and dreams
and the
and
Zero Boys.
butterflies and rainbows.
and ketchup.
So Brian Thompson said in this interview, and the cinematographer, they confirmed the rumors that neither the supporting cast nor the extras were allowed to speak to Stallone. Just Stallone, I can't say it. And even Brian Thompson said he was not allowed to, or he was at least told not to speak to Stallone in the makeup trailer.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And then in the
Makeup
same
trailer, also known as the Coke Dungeon.
Or the
Oh, I'm
Cobra
doing really
Dungeon.
Stanislavski on this
Makeup.
one. You can't take me on my character. That's how it works.
It's face powder.
No, Baldy, your sister's with me.
In this same interview, Waite claimed the cinematographer Rick Waite claimed that Stallone was the real director. It wasn't actually George Cosmatos, and that Cosmatos would come to set every day with the comments on the previous day's shoots, but everyone knew that those comments were written in Stallone's handwriting.
Because it was mumbled? What?
It was pictographs. It was pictures.
That's the eyes with little stars. It's cute.
Every third letter is really an arms flexing.
Look, the one with the curly hair is obviously you.
It was not a penis.
But apparently the crew referred to Cosmatos as George Comatose. And he said that he, quote, he would have made a great producer, but was a terrible director. He even went further to say that Cosmatos has no technical knowledge, and they had to keep explaining like what the focus points were for, and so nobody
What's
had
the big
anything
thing on wheels with the twisty stuff. That's the camera, sir. That's the movie camera.
That's okay, because he can, do that dance thing where he picks up the little table with his teeth,
So you crank the camera? No, sir. No, we've gone past that.
You see that thing that's like has flat and looks like it's got little arms on it? That's your chair. Go sit in your chair. This one right here. Come on, boy.
Look, it's even got your name on it.
I'm doing the hard work.
Yeah, we've heard that about George Cosmatos. Like, apparently Kurt Russell's the one that really directed Tombstone.
Yeah, but that one's pretty official. I think that
Is
explains
it? Okay.
Yes.
Well, and it makes me wonder, Leviathan, did RoboCop direct Leviathan?
I would believe it.
Well, it can't always be an actor. Come on. And we know by now that some
you think
actors
the
can't
DP's
direct.
doing
Do you
it?
think it was Hector Elizondo or I don't know,
Yeah.
the guy that was in the suit?
No, it's Ernie Hudson. Be nice. Ernie Hudson.
Oh,
true.
God, if it were Ernie
True.
Hudson, it'd be my favorite.
Ernie Hudson can do it all. Like, he shows up and the movie just comes together.
It's
That's
true.
true. Just like Congo.
God,
Comes
bitch was
to work.
Yes. Amy, beautiful.
You want raindrop drink?
Guys, I don't know if anybody involved with porn is in Congo, but let's talk about Congo.
We have theories.
Yeah.
Joe Don Baker did a
No.
lot of porn.
Welcome to Congo
Yeah.
Theory Minute with everything I learned from movies.
Why
Tonight,
aren't there
we have our
straight-to-video
guest.
sequels to
If
Congo?
Billy Zane were in porn, I'd like to think that I would know already.
Right.
and that tape would be
You would
worn
feel
out.
it right here.
Oh, Linda's got the Google alert, and like she's not looking for the deep fake. She wants the real stuff.
Only the real shit. Thank you.
Hold on.
And I'll know.
False alarm.
But yeah, so Wade claimed that one of the problems on set was that Stallone at the time was engaged to Nielsen, and they spent a good deal of their time playing grab ass, his words, not mine. And that Stallone also spent a good deal of his time impressing his entourage of muscle men who were, quote unquote, paid to listen to Sly talk. So it sounds about right.
Well, okay, so how often were they grabbing Brian Thompson's ass, though? That's what I really want.
Every day.
We know Brian Thompson's quite the kisser. I hope he took advantage of that.
Did they make it worth his time? I mean, he was young at the time. I mean, come on.
Why do you think he's not in more things? Like he just was so
wasn't lying,
traumatized
why?
from the shoot.
I think
Hashtag
so.
me too.
Hashtag Brian Thompson too.
High and hard.
But Thompson described the movie as character light. He asked Stallone about his character's motivation, and he just replied that he's evil like Hitler, to which Thompson basically said, well, even Hitler had a plan and motivations behind his evilness. Like, Hitler didn't think that he was evil. And he asked if he could have, like, maybe Polaroids of the victims and bank account information, or some reason to be targeting the victims. But I guess Stallone answered with, "George, can you get him some Polaroids?" So that was that. But he called it extremely disappointing because
even like Stallone wouldn't do any off-screen acting with him because it's usual for when you're acting for film or even television that if you have if somebody is off screen, they're usually acting with you, so you have somebody to act off of and to work with. But Stallone wouldn't do that, and including in that his big monologues towards the end where he ends up getting got. But he had to act off of a script girl for that. And when he asked if Stallone was going to show up, he received the answer, Brian, the basketball game is on. The
We
last
are the
thing that
future.
Cosmotos told him on the shot was, you would have been very good if you would have listened to me in this film. She was like, but it's pretty sad. But then I did find out that Brian Thompson actually played football at Central Washington University over by us. It's a beautiful campus over in Ellensburg, and I was very close to going there because they even had like a what do they call it? There was like this thing where they would study chimps for like psychology and
Primatology.
yeah, and like I love monkeys, I love primates, I love chimps. So
Welcome to our podcast. You're now the third member. We're going to be doing April, followed by Monk May.
yes. I'm already there.
Spoiler alert, we've already done that.
Oh my god.
We're doing it again in 2022. So
Yay! I will be listening. He actually went to Central Washington University on a music scholarship and majored in music, and he
he has a
called
lovely
himself,
voice.
Yeah, actually. He called himself a closet drama student, and he didn't want anybody to know that he was actually trying, because I think he seems like he was like very self-conscious about it, and I totally get that, where he didn't want people to know that he was actually like pursuing a career in acting. But he ended up getting a full ride to the MFA program in UC Irvine. So, yay, Brian Thompson. Love him.
We
love you, Brian
Thompson.
Shao Kahn.
You complete us.
Alien Manhunter.
So, anybody else have any other thoughts on the movie?
It's so beautiful.
It's spectacular.
It's just so beautiful. It's just 80s-ness made flesh. It's so much lovely neon.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. 80s made flesh.
It's man. I'm like even if the second half doesn't quite measure up to the first, it's like there's so much to look at. I
That
love
final
it.
shootout, though, in the abandoned bottle factory,
Foundry
fire
or whatever they
factory.
call it.
They make fire there.
Yeah, two
I'm gonna
employees,
say this,
both get
though.
killed
The
right
old
away.
fire factory.
As epic and wonderful as the Foundry is, with the huge furnace with the teeth and the spooky eyes on the side, this is still less ridiculous than any piece of machinery in a Michael Bay movie, where it's
Okay,
like
that's fair.
oh honey, I gotta beat up that man because he said something about you. It's like, let's go fight over here by this Sparks machine. What's it do? It's like,
Makes sparks.
you're the man now, dog. To get inside the rock, I gotta climb inside this
We
thing.
have the machine that
Here's
goes
fire.
ping.
Wait a minute. Like this place is a shut down prison. What's this machine doing on here? It's just been running for years, dog. It's just gas and fire. What more do you want to know?
Okay, so
Oh.
if you haven't seen it, listeners, there are pools of molten lava with no guardrails
Yeah.
and barrels of flammable liquid in random places, chains in random places.
Oh,
moving
outside
hooks
this
that go-
And the
facility
hooks.
is nothing but orange groves.
Yeah,
lemons.
Orange Groves and Foundry. Yeah, it's just like Pennsylvania. Yeah.
That's the original lemon party.
I mean, to be fair, that is basically like Central California, like Bakersfield, Modesto, Fresno.
You
Just
drive through it and you just get feels.
fire, orange trees, criminals.
I
Shout out to Drew
believe it about the
Grillfields.
criminals.
But yeah, they've got moving hooks that go through a ring of fire and a lever that sets fire to a walkway. I mean,
It's everything that the end of
no.
Terminator 2 wanted to be, but was too chicken shit to do.
Yeah.
It's a beef
Yeah.
jerky factory, guys.
Oh, that's why that shit's so dry. It's been through all that fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Right.
the
Case
Terminator 2,
closed.
Thank you
Highlander
so
3,
much. Now I
Alien
can
3,
sleep.
they all wanted to be the end of this movie.
Yes, this movie did what
Yeah.
those movies didn't have the balls to do.
They didn't have the fucking stones. Just saying.
They didn't have Stallone.
That's right. Every
The factory is running. There are no employees except for one
There's
security
two
guard.
guys. The two guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
The two
you're
guys were
right.
up in the boop 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 box.
Dirty room, or-
It was a
I'm
boop
sorry,
box.
listeners. We're getting technical. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
the
also Black
Foreman's
Rain, now that I think
overseer
about it.
office. The boop 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 box.
Did you guys ever see The Night Stalker with Charles Napier and Robert Zadar?
No, I haven't been able to find that movie in 20
Oh,
goddamn
I
years.
got it on VHS. It's freaking epic.
Of course you do.
For one thing, Charles Napier, legit
Guys.
great performance as an alcoholic detective on that thing. But that's another one that is gorgeous. Robert Zadar is insane. At the end of the movie, it kicks that shit up not to 11 but to fucking 13. It's nuts. Because that one has an insane Foundry shootout too.
Because I've seen every episode of the 10 episodes of The Night Stalker like 100 times, and I forced my husband to watch it, who was not into it until he watched it. Now he's super into it,
Oh.
and by super
Wait,
into it, he
Are we
acknowledges.
talking about the Kolchak movie or
That's
the
what I
other
was gonna
Night
ask.
Stalker?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, the
it's- so the
Kolchak movie is
Kolchak
the
movie's
ABC
about a
movie of the
murderer.
week pilot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The one-
because
the
I've
one
been
in Las
watching
Vegas.
that. I've just
Kind
I've
of felt like I
just
was
started
Night
doing a
Stalker
little pre
is about vampires.
But I think he's talking
Before
about
this.
just a Night Stalker.
Yeah, that was but that like spurred
Okay.
Kolchak to Night Stalker.
Yes.
We
All right.
see
But
on
listeners,
CBS,
you got to
so
see
interesting.
both things.
Yeah, I was doing some pre-gaming before this because before we watched Cobra, I actually had gotten in my DVD of Terror in Beverly Hills with Mr. Frank Stallone. And there's also a shootout that happens in an abandoned bean factory.
In the old bean
So,
factory.
yes.
Everyone
That sounds
knows
like
where the
what I
old
call
bean
my
factory
bit.
is. President William
That's what you call your
picks
bit.
up one of his 4 phones and talks about the old bean factory.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Terror in Beverly Hills.
All right, I'm on it.
We do not have enough Frank Stallone on the podcast.
Peace in our life. Remember the call. Oh, cheer for my brothers. Well, Frank Stallone won the Razzie for doing the end credits theme song to Rambo First Blood Part 2. So,
Oh, that's right.
yeah. They give a lot of Razzies to that thing, even though it's a goddamn masterpiece.
First Blood Part 2.
There's
Rambo
so
First
many
Blood.
worse movies.
I
Like,
know.
so-
It's like,
So
it's
many.
like, is your life so uncomplicated that you've got time to hate on Rambo First Blood Part 2? Really?
You get it, Razzies. You're intimidated by all Stallones.
all of the Stallones, the entire like family tree that is Stallone. You're afraid you're going to be crushed beneath its might.
Well, people don't give him enough credit, to be fair. You know, like he's like Rocky really is a metaphor for itself. And there's a lot of movies I like better, including movies from that year. You know, and like the Best Picture Oscar, yeah, it's excessive, but not bad.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
everybody knows Rocky 3 was robbed.
Yeah.
It is the one. It is the one everybody knows the song from.
That's true.
Yeah, but to be fair, 4's got a pretty good soundtrack. You know, you got John Caffrey on that one. Strong desire. Yep,
Is
yep.
this one with Vincent D'Amiglio or whatever?
There's a shortcut.
Is he son to the horn?
That's right. Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah.
And Survivor's on the soundtrack to that one too, Within the Burning Heart. But yeah, fucking Dolph Lundgren, you know, a fucking America Russia boxing match, just totally over the top Reagan era. Like,
Ended communism.
yeah, they ended communism with their fists.
That's
Glasnost
how America
right there.
won. Kid.
That was actually done before in Robot Jocks when they beat Russians with robots and Robo Fist.
Yeah, and in Robot Jocks, that guy's all like, I could change, you could change, anybody could change.
Yeah.
Listeners, we just saved you a whole bunch of time. Now you don't have to watch How the West Was Won, because that was it. Robots, fist fighting.
But you do still have to, listeners, you do still have to watch How the West Was Fun with the Olsen twins when they were little.
Yeah.
That's when they're little detectives, right? Calling people on the phone.
They were just little detectives.
God.
Our life ain't been no ticker-tape parade.
I used to have a friend back in the early 2000s who had a countdown going on to when they turned 18.
It wasn't just your friend. That's the fucked up
So
part.
which correctional facility are they in now?
No, that was my friend. That wasn't who you're, whoever you're thinking of.
No, I had a friend at the coworker at the Hollywood Video, Camille, who she had the same birthday as the Olsen twins, and I said to her, I was like, so that countdown applied to you too? And she's like, I'm sorry. And I refused to explain it further. I'm like, oh, you don't know. Shit. Fuck it. Okay.
Oops.
Nobody said anything. Flava Flav isn't on TV saying that. No, nobody said that.
Okay, now that we've talked about Flava Flav, who knew what would happen to Brigitte Nielsen?
She did that movie with
Steve did.
No, she became.
I'm the one who introduced him. Sorry, guys.
She became international superstar. Eh? It's very charismatic, yeah.
She was Red Sonja after all.
Yeah, I think
that movie
it was,
got robbed as well. That movie is great.
Very.
Oh.
I think it was Red Sonja that did her in, though.
That's where she
You mean
fucking started.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
They should have got John Milius back for that thing. He would have insaned it up some.
Oh, hell yeah.
You need more insane, and John Milius is certifiably nuts. Like that guy is a schizo
What if
psycho.
John Milius did Cobra? Think about it.
Oh my God.
There'd be a lot more demons.
Do you think the body count's in the 90s now?
Yeah, it would have been just like Hot Shots Part 2 or Rambo Part 4, which made it happen for real.
You know, when he got this role, Brian Thompson was working in Universal Studios Hollywood in the Conan thing. It was like I don't know what you would call it. Yeah,
he was just in the Conan porta potty. That was all they could really afford to like.
He would just
Conan
stand there and go, one or two.
I mean, he had testosterone to spare. It just makes sense.
I don't believe he was Conan, but he was in it. And I mean, a gig's a gig. But
Barbarian.
He was Golgotha?
Yes, the riddle of steel. Would you like me to tell it to you? It's the least I can do.
He did his best Mako impersonation the entire time. Let me tell you of high adventure.
acting.
After the waves drank Atlantis, there was an age undreamed of.
I would love to play like a D&D campaign with him.
I'm surprised that
he died.
Mako?
Yeah,
Brian Thompson?
He died a
both?
while ago.
Brian
I'm
Thompson.
surprised that
Oh,
Stallone
yeah.
never did a
Both,
Barbarian
but it has to
movie
be
though.
naked.
I hate to
Because
tell
Stallone
you,
and
Mako's not
Schwarzenegger
really a
was a
big draw
competition.
anymore.
Yeah.
Man, fuck
You'll have
the
to watch
American
Avatar:
public
The
in
Last
box
Airbender to
office.
get a fix on him.
Oh.
The show, not the movie. So put your butthole face away
Oh,
That
okay.
movie
and let's
has
go
one
back to the
good
movie.
That movie has one good scene.
The end credits.
Go on.
The water death scene.
Oh,
That is
The
a
FBI
really
warning at the
good
beginning, right?
scene.
I want to see Asif Manvi drown in his own juices. I would just hang out.
Taco
I just hang
King.
out in Los Angeles.
From the director of After Earth.
His name was Cypher Wage.
God.
That's old. Coming in theaters tomorrow.
I can't believe
Part of
it's
me wants
real.
to see it just so I can like throw shit at the screen. But after watching Pig, I know that I can't be in a theater with other people anymore.
we did
I've
find
gone feral.
we did find that
Oh,
out.
are you problematic around other movie viewers like I am? Linda can tell you about all the times we almost got kicked out of theaters.
Well, I do have to say, I got one good joke in before the movie even started. There was like some sort of like montage where it was like, look at all the movies we have in our thing. But it was like everything had to do with snacks. but it was like, I drink your milkshake. And then it was like the scene from Pulp Fiction where they're like drinking. It was like all weird. And then ended with Soylent Green as people. And I just went, spoilers.
But then it didn't end with like, hey, check out our food court or anything like that. It was just, here's the name of the megaplex you're in. And I'm like, and we have a food court?
You got to put it together yourself. It's like meta. Yeah. Cerebral.
Super weird because it was all food things, but it was all like food references for movies you don't want to eat around.
Let's all go to the
They got clips from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Like, yeah, it was super, super weird. But yeah, we quickly realized Steve and I are no longer fit to be around civilization. We have to stay at our home.
It's just better for everybody. Guys, let it all stream. Let the spice flow. Release Dune on VOD.
Oh,
I'll pay the money.
I'll pay the $30.
I'm curious. I mean, it could go two ways, but I am curious to see.
Dune?
Yeah.
It's never going to beat the original one. The original one is so ingrained in all of our psyches at this point.
I don't think.
No. Here's the thing: the whether you like it or hate it, the first one is now ingrained, like embedded in our DNA.
No, ingrained nothing. You can't top that. No, it's for
like,
that story. Like that tops the book. No,
it's staying
controversial.
But who's gonna play Fade Routha, and why is it gonna be Ryan Reynolds?
Mick Jagger.
You just want to know who's going to be in their underpants.
It's either Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling. It's guaranteed.
It's a Ryan of some sort.
A Ryan or a Chris.
Ryan Seacrest.
And then Captain America walks out in a little metal underwear.
Oh, shit.
Best movie ever.
I will kill him. How's that ketchup sitting, Donnie?
Oh, it's sitting well.
Somehow I doubt that. Has your cat drowned in it yet?
She is currently sleeping.
She's
in the ketchup.
Through it.
Ketchup coma.
She's trapped in its viscosity, but she might make it to the edge.
She's fine with her life choices.
Behold, there's dry land. Nope, it is but half a fry.
Donnie, were you able to find any sort of reviews on this?
Well, at the 1 hour mark, we are ready now to get into these reviews. And oh boy, are they some fun ones, because there were a lot of people that did not like this movie. I wonder why.
What?
First, Cobra was the brainchild of Stallone, who wanted to do Rambo 4 and Rambo 5, but wasn't sure how. So, with a Mac 10 and a toothpick, we got Cobra. Actually, it was not a toothpick, but whatever.
Match.
I have a brain-damaged friend who understands Stallone's dialogue better than anyone I know. And he says this movie stinks. I disagree. Rocky 5 stunk. This movie smells like chicken droppings in a microwave.
Why would you
Does
know
he
what
know
that smelled
what
like?
that? I mean, has he?
Maybe because his brain-damaged friend, I guess?
Yeah, drop in the brain damage friend. And also, wait, when was this written? Like 95 or something? Because Rocky 5 was 1990?
Yeah.
Nobody remembers Rocky 5. It just doesn't exist in that series. The continuity got reset.
George Washington King, that's all I have to remember. And Tommy the Gun Morrison.
Is the worst movie ever made. I hated it. I had to watch it in school last year. Why would you watch Cobra in school unless it's a film school?
Where did they go?
At the kindergarten, just showing Cobra.
I had to watch it in school last year, and I laughed at it the whole time. I did. However, learn one thing from it. If you are ever being pursued by a crazy axe-wielding maniac, it is safe to be in the car with Stallone. You will not be injured even if the car flips 17 times.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and one person can take on an army because they will always wait their turn.
Well, I
That is
mean,
true.
that's how it works with
is
ninjas and
a movie.
armies.
And for some reason, this got the second highest number of likes because it was helpful to people. Stallone's endorsement of a fascist judicial system. That's it. That's all they wrote.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but when he does it, it's cute.
But
Yeah, that's why he did it 10 years later in Judge Dredd.
yeah,
Dude, we gotta
Yeah.
stick to these bullshit moves.
I have a dissertation,
Yeah.
and I'm very glad I found this because it's another one of those wonderful reviews I love where the person signed their full name to the review.
Oh
Did they put their friend's
boy.
full name too?
George
I was gonna
Panos
say-
Cosmotos.
Do we get the address of their friend?
I hope so. Okay, so I'm the 399th person to review this film. I'll first start by quoting from Leonard Maltin's movie guide.
Oh boy, here we go.
Stallone wraps himself in the American flag and fights for the greater glory of mankind. End quote. Every other cop in the film was a stick figure, while Stallone was a giant. When I first saw this film as a kid, I thought it was the greatest of films. Now I realize it is a waste of time for anyone to view. With little plot there, it is still full of stupid inconsistencies that one can only shake their head.
Get
Who
back to
were
the
these
hospital.
people? Presumably a cult from their pedantic chanting behavior, yet they also seem to be a motorcycle gang using the most ridiculous tactics I've ever seen when it comes to trying to overwhelm 2 or 3 people in a motel. Also, why would Brian Thompson, the man who was seen by Bridget Nielsen, panic about having been seen? She couldn't ID him as he'd never been arrested.
Can we talk about the photo, the artist
Oh,
rendition
God,
they do
yeah.
with Brian Thompson?
After the review.
Yeah.
Could you make him more
And-
human?
If he
got
had
more
been
shit to say,
arrested, why would he risk going for her at a hospital? There are so many plot holes in this script that only you, that's right, can shake their heads.
Why is this on me? I refuse to do this myself.
Leonard Maltin gave this film 1.5 stars out of 4.
It's very generous
That
for Leonard Maltin.
translates to 2 stars out of 5 stars. I'm not even going to be that generous.
It doesn't though.
1 star
Why use a
and
5-star
1 star
system?
only. Seeing Stallone mow down scores of cultists was a high a score as this film deserves. Buy it at your own risk. This is Stallone's worst film, and I mean Stallone's worst.
Somebody who's
Signed,
never seen
A.
Ryan Stone.
Nathaniel Wallace Jr.
A. Nathaniel Wallace Jr.
Oh.
Yes.
The second. Yeah, no, it's got a lot of. So I'd like to point out that
Why
Leonard
didn't we
Maltin also
do
gave.
Rhinestone.
Yes.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
God, Rhinestone.
Leonard Maltin gave 1.5 stars both to Blade Runner and to Highlander. So that's just like
Really?
4 stars now in my book. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Can
we
only
gave
be
it 1.5
one.
stars.
You just round it up.
Yep. You got to figure out how to translate that. Yeah.
And
So
no
you were
joke.
going to talk about the mugshot photo.
Oh, I was
Linda,
just gonna
sorry.
say, Adrian is like our Rain Man when it comes to Leonard Maltin.
Oh,
like,
we're
he
aware
knows,
of that.
Yeah, it's
Well,
insane.
I really
No, I was
hate Leonard
referencing
Maltin.
to Steve wanting to discuss the photo.
Oh, I know,
you're
I know.
talking
I
about
was
the-
just
you're talking about the artist rendering where he's got the cheeks that are
Yeah.
dug the fuck in there.
it looks just like him.
And it looks like some 5-year-old like was digging the pencil
Yeah.
through the sketchbook.
So-
like, I'm so mad.
So, as to people who've seen conservatively 500 episodes of Cold Case Files and Forensic Folders, this is the
Yes.
most police accurate part of the movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
artists don't go to be like render artists. I went to art school. Not one person said I want to try and draw victims, villains. No. Everybody's like, I want to draw tattoos, or I want to work for Disney, or I'm going to Japan to draw Sailor Moon.
I want to be one of those character guys on Venice Beach. Was he riding a dune buggy by chance?
Everybody rides dune buggies.
Those guys would do a better job than any police artist I've ever seen.
We're looking for a guy with a huge frickin' head.
Some sort of reptilian.
At that point, they had to resort to mitochondrial DNA. Mitochondrial DNA is passed on from the mother. So are there any Fred Williamson fans in the house? Because Fred Williamson had not one, but 4 movies in a series called Black Cobra. And the first movie of the series is a direct knockoff of Cobra. It is set in New York. It's an Italian production.
Right around the corner here.
Well, I know what we're doing tonight.
Oh, damn.
All the sequels are done in the Philippines with very heavy dubbing. But yeah, no, the first one, there's a motorcycle gang, and there's a female witness, and she supposedly has a photo, and then they wind up publishing the photo in the newspaper, and it turns out it didn't come out. And they're like, oh, we could just kill them with impunity. We haven't been recognized. Hooray!
Oh, I should also mention, because I forgot that in the shootout toward the end, it was actually supposed to happen at night, and the cinematographer Rick Waite, he was like, they could see him coming, right? Like it's less scary in the daylight, right? So they fucking did it. They fucking did it in the daylight, and
that's fine.
But I guess to prepare for it, prepare himself, Brian Thompson wrote like a 3-page manifesto for the organization, and
actually prepares.
Yeah, well, he's like a real actor's actor, but he was talking about this organization that just can get 50 people to come out on one day, to come out on their motorcycles. And I remember when I was watching, I was telling Carlo, wow, they're really organized, but that there's some guys who are just like, oh, I really can't. It's Shabbat.
It was supposed to be 200. That's how many you could get.
The letter begins: to everyone who doesn't have to work Sunday at Blimpies, I have a mission for you.
You guys, it's D&D night. What the hell?
Sally, please bring snacks again.
John, we know your back is still out, but we'd really appreciate the support. ... Don't be that guy, bro.
Can you at least bring the dip?
Please don't bring your mother's station wagon, John. This isn't that kind of thing. Bikes only, please.
Or at least a sweet 3-wheeler.
And Steve, don't pull that shit again of having to pick up your kids. We don't want kids here.
Responsibility too.
Janet, your dog is not an emotional support dog. Please leave it at home tonight.
Oh man,
unless it's a Rottweiler, that'd be kind of.
Oh boy.
We know it's not a Rottweiler, Janet. Painting a Maltese poodle black does not make it a Rottweiler. Regardless.
Speaking of, is it actually racist that in the 101 Dalmatians they decide to disguise themselves in black ash?
They went lab face, okay?
I mean, there was a black lab in the movie. It didn't seem offended by it, so I guess it's okay.
See, they got a pass right there. Labrador approval.
And
don't be offended on behalf of the labs, okay? That is their right.
That's not your struggle. You don't own that. Black labs.
You're supposed to smile and nod and learn.
Yeah.
Hashtag not all Dalmatians.
Right.
Who runs a Dalmatian plantation?
Dog touch your lives matter too, okay? I'm just saying.
Does anybody have a way to fix this if it needs fixing or sequel?
I 2.5 hour director's cut.
More Brian Thompson.
Oh my.
Oh, the music scared me. What the hell was that?
Oh man.
Izzy's bosom like protected you from that.
So you've seen our wedding photos.
My old boss was a photographer on the side, and that's how he would kind of get like couples when he was doing engagement photos. He got them to relax by because so many people like you tell them to pose and they're like
Yeah, they all do a static pose, and we had to learn that too in photography.
Well, he would tell them like, okay, now put your hand on his chest. Okay, just like that. Maybe a little higher, look up to him, like meet your eyes.
Now smell her a little.
Grab her boob. Like that's nice.
Grab her
We're not on
buttocks.
Twitch.
Women like it when you cross the line.
All right, now lick your nose just a little bit. What?
So I have to agree with you, Steve. You're saying that the uncut edition, like director's cut,
I would like
be
to see that.
awesome.
I would like to see that very
Yes,
much.
uncircumcised version of this movie.
Yep.
Not just
They
the
do it
tip
for
of the
Justice
people.
League. They can do it for a real movie.
Oh fuck! Oh,
Give us the Cosmotos cut.
Rocky IV while you're at it.
Well, but Steve, without the Snyder cut, how would we have gotten so many slow-mos and lady sniffing sweaters? It's very plot heavy.
You know it's serious because they sucked all the color out of it. That's what serious do.
Linda in with her hot take. I liked it.
I'm glad someone did.
There are
They
times
needed
not to
to
listen
cut
to
out a lot of it, but still, like it made more sense than the way it was.
It did make more sense than the first one, but
Yeah.
I'm still part of the group of fuck you, Zack Snyder.
Oh well, yeah.
I
There's
call
always
it
They made her
Zack.
watch Army of the Dead the same week, and
Oh,
there's no
God.
need for a 2.5
Like
hour
the-
zombie flick.
You like the zombies getting all rapey? Yeah, it's just like Hills Have Eyes too. It's brilliant.
I wanted to like that movie so much. I so wanted to. I wanted a good action movie. I wanted a good zombie movie. Instead, I got a movie where anytime anything good happens, we just cut to another scene. The only women who are worth crying over in the least bit are the ones who are pregnant or caregivers of children. All the other women, fuck them. We'll just kill them off with impunity. And really
Snyder has fucked up
interesting characters
morality.
whatsoever.
I just wanted a movie that was actually in focus more than 90% of the time.
I love Richard Cheese, and I love that Richard Cheese did the opening song for this. I was so
I
into
didn't
it.
know
The first
that.
4.5 minutes it was playing. The other 6.5 minutes when it kept going, and then it got taken over by some chick who turned it into a dirge and was like,
Oh boy.
This is what happens when people don't respect an audience's time.
I was
I
like,
wanted
I
to
was
see
out
it.
the first 45 minutes of the opening song.
I wanted to see it. I thought that the trailers looked good, and I mean, it's intriguing. Tig Notaro looking hot. I'm just like, what?
No, she wasn't actually in the movie. They had to dub her in over somebody much more problematic.
Over something.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why she looks like she's animated in the movie instead of
It
actually
was
being in the movie.
smooth. You can't even tell.
It was Grand Moff Tarkin smooth.
Yeah.
No, I wanted Ocean Zombie 11. That's all I wanted from this movie.
That's what it looked like.
That's all I wanted.
You
Couldn't give
son
me
of a
that.
bitch, I'm
Come
in.
on, Soderbergh. I mean,
Yeah, what is Soderbergh doing?
And it was
So
a
that was
sequel to
Cobra.
Cobra. Yeah.
That was the weirdest part.
guys, I agree. Zack Snyder needs to do a Cobra remake.
No.
Actually,
No.
Robert
No.
Rodriguez needs to do a Cobra remake.
Oh no.
Yes.
I don't know. To depends on like which Robert Rodriguez is coming.
I'll let Cosmotos
the
Jr.
Desperado and
make
Spy Kids.
Okay,
And
sure.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl Rodriguez,
Yeah.
obviously.
I don't know about no remakes per se, but maybe a sequel.
What you
Zombie
got?
Squad.
Yes, please, for the love of God, Adrian.
Warner Brothers presents. Wow. He's a cop from out of town who doesn't play by the rules. Hey, what's the matter with you, man? What can I say? I'm from Detroit. The muscles from Brussels has just hit Hollywood. You're a loose cannon. I need your badge and your gun. Come and get them from me. Jean-Claude Van Damme is Cobra 2. Tiger Scorpion.
Yes.
I get defeated in this cult has someone on the inside. You know what I'm saying, Grace Jones? Oh yeah, man, I know. And you bring back Rennie Santoni because he's really easy to get. See, and it's 1987, so Van Damme comes a lot cheaper. Yeah,
I feel we should
Super
record
weird that
this and
Van
play it
Damme's
in
last
slow
name is
motion.
Cabretti.
yeah. It's Cabretti. Yeah, I was looking for a tougher name like Alice.
Chance Cabretti. Because
And
my
then
mama
at the
See
told
you
end-
me.
dance.
The Sepulveda Dam explodes, and he has to drive his car down the streets on a wave of water while bikers are shooting flaming arrows at him. When the end credits started up and that song starts going, did anybody else at first think that it was going to be "And We Dance" by the Hooters?
Yeah.
It was like almost that song. I really wish it had been.
Oh.
Like a wave on the ocean, romance.
I did too, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" And then we got like poor man's Bruce Springsteen.
Turn the radio on. But don't touch that dial.
Like, are you gonna sell me on a Ford truck? What the fuck's going on right now, guys?
He's definitely picking up a 16-year-old runaway. That's all we know.
Daddy home, daddy leave you
Years we said it out on the street.
Guys, seriously, watch Pig in theaters.
Why? Why would you even do that to them? Why would you do that?
Did anyone else?
It'll all make sense.
Donnie, what you got?
I've got Hennessy XO, but I also have there are a few cops tougher than Marion Cabretti, but even he has his limits, and he's about to have them tested. While chasing down a criminal mastermind and muscle-bound street creep from Gold's Gym, the two soon find themselves locked in an epic battle within a genetics laboratory. One thing leads to another, and the two equally matched men become equally matched kids as they transform into 5-year-old versions of themselves, prompting Cobra to take on the biggest challenge of his career, hunting down a kindergarten terrorist. But he's going to need help, big help. The department soon pairs him up with his equally out of control, no-nonsense cop partner, Detective Kimball. The two must now track down and stop the biggest little terrorist before nap time becomes dead time. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone star in Kindergarten Cobra.
You son of a bitch! That was going to be my plot line.
I thought yours was that entire goddamn Zack Snyder fucking description speech we went on for 20 minutes. It's the Linda cut of Cobra. With shirtless Idris Elba. Boom.
Now the episode is longer than the movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
We do this a lot. Get used to it.
Yeah. So I guess now is the time I say, please listen, follow, rate, and review Videorama on Apple Podcasts. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I took 20 minutes for a Zack Snyder cut.
You did, but you're going to take 20 more getting back into it. So come on. Chop,
And
chop.
you took mine, bitch.
I have a
Nobody
I
took
know
mine.
stuff.
I was
I'm
gonna
number
mix
one.
it between God damn it! What was that movie? It was like Kindergarten Cop and the Hulk Hogan movie with the where
the
he's
nanny?
the nanny.
Mr. Nanny?
Suburban Commando.
Well, there was Suburban Commando. Yeah. There was also a
Yeah,
Vin
Nanny.
Diesel film,
Yeah.
The Nanny.
Yeah, see,
Nanny.
it's gonna be
Three
the
Ninjas
Manny,
High
but
Noon
with
at Mega
Sylvester Stallone, and like it's basically Cobra, but the witness is a kid this time, so now he's got to babysit because they killed his parents.
Yeah.
But
Is
these
there at least
kids,
a little person.
rough stuff.
Oh.
No, it's Gary Oldman on his knees.
Yeah.
He's a very devoted
Beautiful
actor.
loser.
Now, see, you think the lovemaking scene is over the top when you think it's a child, but then it turns out the twist, it's actually a little person. So it was okay.
That's an Academy Award winner in that
Alright.
child's body. Wait a minute.
Stick to your principles, mate.
Yeah, it's
All right.
like Jodie Foster's nudie scenes and the little girl down the
It was
lane.
her sister,
Oh my
and she
God.
tried to talk him out of it.
I know.
Nobody's gonna pitch one where Panos Cosmotos directs the remake and it stars Elijah Wood as Marion Cobretti.
Nobody
Why
wants
should
that.
they get a
that
segue into the movie
Why would you even
Oscar?
say
Say
that?
that. Why would we say that?
Guys, what I want though, two 80s icons combine in an unused title, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Think about it.
Oh gosh.
It's so
With
original. I'm
Sylvester
freaking
Stallone as
stunned.
"Get back
So
in
he
there!"
becomes the actual Cobra Commander.
I mean, I paid for the whole seat and then I wet it. I'm amazed.
So, Donnie, now am I allowed to say?
I don't know, Linda. Do you want to keep carrying on that little scene of yours? Do you want to
Maybe.
keep playing the little violin while I come
Maybe
on
makes
and
me feel
eat a little
better.
bit more of my ketchup?
I mean,
You want
if-
some of that?
if
You want a
I
little
could
like
maybe
ketchup with your
talk
wine?
about about Idris Elba being shirtless and maybe
Yeah,
maybe a little bit. And
Do you want to talk
and
about
Daddy
shirtless Idris Elba?
Tom
you
Hiddleston.
wanna- You want to talk about him?
What about the Goots?
A little bit.
Yeah, bring in Goots to oil him up for you.
No, the
you know?
We
Goots
mentioned
is too
Robert
hot.
Hayes earlier. It just follows.
Bring in Billy Zane and his tight tights. You know,
All right.
have an
So the
oil
movie's
down in
The
a
Man
pit.
Who Wasn't There. It's Gutenberg, but he's invisible.
Oh, I
But
saw it.
he's naked.
Except for
I
when
own
he's
that too.
naked and running around a courtroom.
You want to
It's a
borrow a
jockstrap that
VHS? I
wasn't
got it.
there.
Invisible Cobra.
Careful, he spits.
Ghost Cobra. There,
Invisible
we
Cobra,
solved
the
it.
second novel from Last Tiger.
Brilliant, Linda. Brilliant.
Thank you. You can find our Kickstarter. No. Oh no, Kickstarter's bad. We don't like
What?
Kickstarter right now.
Hey,
Well, we
they
should
gave
do
us
a
our money.
Kickstarter.
They finally
Like-
gave
Oh,
me
they
my money.
did.
They
Yeah.
finally, yes, yesterday.
Were they holding
So
your
yeah,
stuff
so
up?
I had a successful Kickstarter. It's actually my second one. The first
Oh.
one, just because Steve and I were both setting it up, he put in his bank information and they paid him no problem. This time I set it up while he was at work and with a woman's only account. As Steve said, what does a woman need with a bank account while they're in the kitchen? Come on. They wouldn't pay.
Allegedly.
They wouldn't pay
Allegedly.
me. And
They
so I
wouldn't-
messaged them and they were like, well, we need like your bank information. So I sent it and they were like, that's no good. Even though I have proof that they tested my account, they did a $23 deposit, they took it out, but whatever. So they're like, we need a canceled check. And I was like, this seems scammy. And they were like, no, this is how we do things. So I sent them a canceled check from like 3
Oh.
years ago because who uses goddamn checks anymore? Anyway, they were like,
Oh.
we can't find your bank account. And I was like, you can't find my bank account with a canceled check? Because Nigerian scammers can find it with just my email address? Come on.
Yeah.
So I started a whole like online campaign about like hashtag scammers, like hashtag sexism, which they have a long history of. And if you Google it, you can
they
find
do
some
this a
cases.
lot, huh?
Oh, it's not just like not paying people, specifically women and people and people of color and whatnot, but also
Oh my
like they got
God.
in trouble a couple of years ago for okaying a project. They got like $300,000. That was basically a guide on how to beat your girlfriend and get away with it.
So
A whole
Is
board
Kickstarter
game
run by the
about,
former
like,
people who
suppressing-
ran Denny's
To be
or
fair, can also be applied to boyfriends.
could be applied to boyfriends, but was specifically aimed at guys for girlfriends. But whatever.
You just changed the word
Whatever.
snatch to
Wow.
dick.
I mean,
something? So this is that fatal game, right?
So for like 3 weeks now, they've been jerking me around saying that they can't find my bank account. It must be my bank. I called my bank, which is an over 100-year-old institution. My family's personally been with them for about 90 years. So I'm going to trust my bank over them. And they were like, no, other than the one little, like, make sure your account's there. We haven't seen them. We're clear to, like, take your funds. Like, we're happy to hold your money. And finally, they put me through to a supervisor after I opened like 6 cases because they just stopped replying to me. So I just kept opening a case a day until they answered me. And like it started with like, where's my money? And went to like, I think there's an embezzlement scam. I think one of your employees has personally stolen my funds. I'm not sure your people are competent with handling small amounts of money because it's a very small Kickstarter. Finally, they got back to me and they were like, we're going to try this one more time. No promises. And I was like, can you use the bank account from last time? And they were like, well, no, that doesn't have your name on it. And I'm like, but you used it last time. But anyway, they're going to try it one more time. But if it doesn't work, we're going to have some serious problems. And then it worked. And now they want to answer me again.
After you made all that noise, yeah.
You can find that at untidyvenus.etsy.com. All of her arts and wares that are made possible by that Kickstarter thing, but will probably be done some other way next time.
Snackosaurus 2, Electric Boogaloo, my dinosaurs that are made of snack foods as enamel pins. I've got more than a dozen of them now. You guys can get them all at Untidy Venus. I'm just going to say, if you run a Kickstarter, make sure you use a man's bank account, because apparently they're just not paying women currently.
I
Just do
have
the
to
initial
say,
thing, like, no, I'm not a chick, I'm PD James. That's it. Yeah, yeah, not a chick at all. JD
What
Robb.
do we need with bank accounts? Am I right?
Right? I mean,
We should be having babies.
I
So,
have
yeah,
to say that
don't know
tops my
money.
own Kickstarter experience. So thank you for that.
What ministry runs Kickstarter, I wonder?
The Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah.
Like
The
I waited
Ministry
8
of
years.
White bearded males?
I would believe it. I waited 8 years. All of us did, who contributed to this documentary being made about Peter Mayhew and his whole knee surgery and his return to Star Wars. It took 8 years for them to get out anything remarkably resembling the rewards you're supposed to have gotten, let alone the DVD you're supposed to have gotten. And for some reason, this is really weird. You're supposed to have gotten a X-ray scan of his knee before the surgery for some reason. And they decided the best way to give you that without actually doing so was to make that the stamp that's on the box that you get your DVD in eventually. And the only reason it actually happened and everyone got their DVD was because the guy who ran the Kickstarter, who had stopped replying to everyone and blocked anyone who asked him about it, they actually got a hold of Peter Mayhew at one of the conventions and asked him what the hell is going on with this. And then when he found out nothing had been sent out and over a couple 100,000 people donated a few $1 million to this, and his best buddy, who had been with him ever since then, took all that money and did what he wanted with it, they decided to release the DVDs to everyone.
Wow.
8 years.
That's the project manager, though. That's like not Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I mean, you should ask Steve
Well,
about Richard Cheese's biography.
Still waiting 12 years.
Holy shit.
Linda should know
put
these
your money
things.
in
It's
a
about
hole.
the cheese. She's our
Come
resident.
on, you got that
cheeser.
Zack Snyder cut money. Put a pen to paper, homie. What were you doing during COVID?
I don't know all things, apparently.
You know all things concerning cheese.
Linda knows all things.
Except for this.
Look, you can ask her all day about Roquefort. She doesn't necessarily know about a guy named Richard Cheese. Come on.
I know a little bit about him. I know I like his music.
There is nothing my sister doesn't know. She is the bestest sister ever.
Yeah, she is.
Aw, why, thank you, Don.
Eat a
What
bag
you
of
trying to say about my sister, huh?
Wait,
Come on,
wait,
let's
do you
go,
have
man,
another
let's go.
sister?
Yes, I call Linda Sister Fister.
Linda, come back. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
I call my sister head or sister
Fading
face.
away.
Last time it was your cat that sucked you into the nether.
You didn't believe in me.
You gotta think happy thoughts.
I take away all the power I ever gave you.
Wait a second. No, I'm not
mother
Freddy
is
Krueger, goddammit.
So please listen, rate, and review.
Yes, please listen, follow, rate, and review Videorama on Apple Podcasts. It helps us immensely. It will also earn you an on-air shout-out. And check out our stuff on YouTube, where you could see our precious cherubic faces. And you could also see in this episode, if you're not already watching on YouTube, Steve and Izzy have given us some like amazing was it like a
Life
hard of
experiences?
hearing story telling? You know, they've been translating everything. Yes, yeah, they've been giving us a performance, and it's very much appreciated. So you could really understand what's being said by watching the YouTube. And also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/VideoramaPod. Remember, you can find us on Twitter. You can also visit our website. It is up and going. It's an official thing now. It's videoramapod.com.
Yeah.
.com.
Yes, .com. Yeah, the
.edu. .org.
It's in the World
.gov.
Information Superweb.
Also, you can write to us at videoramapod@gmail.com. If you visit our website, visit our account on Twitter, Videorama P, that's the letter P. You could take apparently we didn't have enough space for Videorama Pod, so we got Videorama P. You can take part in our poll to vote on who presented the best movie in the theme this month. And therefore, you get to decide who is the employee of the month. Will it be? Also, check out my other podcast about witches in history and stories of all media, Bedknobs and Broomflicks. You know we're good because we have licks at the end. Also, if you go to videoramapod.com, you can see Cage's Kiss, you could see Broomflicks, our website there. And yeah, so Adrian, where can the people find you? How can they support you and your nasty habits?
Oh, how they can support me? Oh,
Did you tell he's a nasty boy?
bad boy.
Fuck yeah, he's a dirty white boy.
A dirty white boy. Well, I'm glad you asked. Yeah. You can find me on the deviantart.com because I'm still Leo the Fox on there with my 3,000 artworks and stories and chapters and such. That's lowercase LEOTHEFOX all run together. Been on there for quite a spell. I am on the Patreon too. That's things actually getting updated. You should go on there and give me some dollars.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm on. Goodreads where you can hear me complain about books that are 150 years old or so that you've never heard of, but that's okay because I'm here to tell you they exist. And I'm on the YouTube as A.A. Smith. You could just search Gorton Jamie or Rainbow Gun. I'll come up under something, or put Leo the Fox into YouTube. It'll come up under that too, I'm sure. And that's where I'm at.
Oh, you could also find Adrian's art and Donnie's reviews on our website as well. Either cageskiss.com or videoramapod.com. But Donnie.
I'm Unreal Goals on the Twitter. I'm also Unreal Goals on the YouTube. I have a nice kitty cat picture, so that's the one that's me. I'm also working on doing a audio book. Oh my god!
Oh, hey! I know
art.
that sticker. Oh, my goodness. It's my Nicolas Cage in the toilet for
For those
USS
that can't
Indianapolis.
see, we've just been shown a water bottle with Adrian's artwork on it.
Beard from
Oh, my lord.
Real Feels podcast and a couple of my own designs for Podcart Fest coming Saturday, October 9th.
And he drew our logo. Everything I ever
Yeah.
Branded T-Rex.
Dinosaur train.
Right out the train.
Yes, I'm Unreal Goals on the YouTubes, where I'm doing also working hard, hardly working on a audio drama of my own telling. And I just want to call my sister out on one thing we forgot to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot we did not cover this episode, but something we must cover because you kept us in suspense. What, Linda, were your other choices if not the movie you covered for this month's topic?
Oh, there was going to be Serial Mom or Crybaby.
Or Crybaby, yes. We unfortunately did not get to that, but there was porn star in it.
Okay.
Also, why didn't we watch Oscar instead of this? There's nobody here
Because this one has
the film
Andy
Oscar?
Robinson.
We don't talk about
Stop
Oscar
her, my
anymore.
mom will shoot.
I'm going to
with
let
this
her die.
name.
Does Oscar have
just want to
Brigitte
do it
Nielsen
before I
being
kill-
gorgeous? I
They
didn't
could
think
have
so.
if they tried.
Being gorgeous with robots.
The Rocky
So
Four
much
robot.
for the cat and mouse shit.
So, if you guys could tell us about your podcast and more about Podcart.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
well,
we have a podcast?
we do. It's called Everything I Learned from Movies. It's on all the major podcatchers. Or you can check out our new website, EILFmovies.weebly.com. Or you can just follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies. And yeah, coming up Saturday, October 9th, we have our next incarnation of Podcart Fest, which is a celebration of podcasting and art. That's at PODCARTFEST, and this will be our spooky fall festival.
Ooh.
And it's all online and free, so pass that money on to an artist in need.
Yeah. We have a super cool online venue that we use where we live stream at the top and interview artists and podcasters. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, each artist has their own video chat booth. So you can actually go in and talk to the artists and the podcasters who have booths there and
Adorable.
ask them about their products, about their podcasts, all of that good stuff.
And see, who are past celebrities that have been on our Podcart Fest? Let's see, we just had a comedian, creator, actor extraordinaire, Dana Gould, Janet Varney. You might know her as the voice of Cora from Legend of Korra, among other things.
Oh my God.
Director Brian Trenchard Smith of such incredible movies as The Man from Hong Kong and Leprechaun in Space,
shit.
Turkey Shoot.
Yeah. And tomorrow I'll pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we don't even know who we're going to have for our spooky one.
Maybe it'll be Brian Thompson if he'll return my calls. I
Brian
don't
Thompson,
know.
return our calls. But, I mean, since we are such good friends of Dana Gould, I'm sure we'll get somebody, like the way he got us John C. McGinley for our podcast.
Oh, yeah. We've also
What?
talked to like Thomas Jane, all kinds of directors.
Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll, twice. Dr. Uwe Boll, Marshall Bell,
wait.
Alexandra Paul.
Uwe Boll, where he told us about how he accidentally burned down a Serbian village and then brought all the dogs home to Canada.
Hey, that's filmmaking, baby.
Oopsie.
See, Roger
Oopsie
Corman would have
daisies.
turned The Village Burning Down into like 6 movies.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Keeps the cameras running.
For Blood Rain 7.
You know, you run for your life very good, but she is not losing her bra. Can we do something?
Were you guys talking about the Thomas Jane who happens to be Eskimo Brothers with Nicolas Cage?
That would be the
That
one.
We
It didn't come up in the conversation at all.
we also didn't even get to the part where he doesn't wear shoes because we were so busy talking about how much he follows the real life stories of aliens.
Yeah, the last 45 minutes of the interview
remember
was
you
all
mentioning
about
that.
aliens.
Yeah.
So you can find that at Everything I Learned from Movies on all your favorite podcatchers.
Wait, but Steve,
Hmm?
what other people in Nicolas Cage's life have we interviewed?
Oh, well, we talked to his actual brother, Christopher Coppola, his stand-in during the good years, Marco Kairos, director Johnny Martin, who directed him in Vengeance, a Love Story, and a lot of other probably Eskimo bros, let's be real.
Get the Coppola spaghetti recipe.
You
We're circling that drain, and eventually we're going to get to Nicolas Cage. I mean, guys, watch Pig in theaters while you still can. Who knows if
We're
it'll be
gonna review
released
it. We have
otherwise.
to.
So
And
good.
eventually we're gonna get Rape Cop made.
Yes.
Our movie.
We're gonna call up Golan and Globus, get that money together. Yeah.
We're gonna get Lloyd Kaufman and Nicolas Cage together finally.
Finally, yeah.
James Cameron will produce.
Yeah, and my animated version of the Humanity Bureau.
Yes. So,
Here's that Kickstarter. Anyway.
and next week we will be starting a whole new month with a whole new topic and Adrian's recommendation. So stay tuned to find out who won the honor of being this month's Employee of the Month.
Vote Stephen
help
Izzy.
We was robbed.
Hashtag Frankenhooker.
All night.
Until then, I hope Donnie doesn't die.
Hey everybody, we're all gonna get
You can do it, Donnie. Get through that ketchup
So
pool.
what? So let's do
Hashtag-
it.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Any way you want it. That's
All right,
the
let's
way.
get trending. Hashtag did Donnie die? The triple D. Hashtag
Donnie's a dead
ketchup
man. Miss him.
overdose.
Miss him.
For updates on his bowel movements, you can follow him at.
Updates
Donnie
nothing. You need those
sucks.
HD pictures, man.
I will be
You ever
posting
open
pictures.
LiveJournal
Thank
back
you.
in the day and get the 6,000 by 4,000 picture?
Oh.
You got to navigate to the middle to figure out that it's somebody's shit.
Will I be
It's gonna be one of those things where,
special?
like, we find out that if you eat an entire bottle of ketchup, your poop turns green.
At least
Well,
it came out
that's
natural.
That explains every McDonald's handicap stall I have ever been in. Have you ever entered a McDonald's handicap stall and not just had one waiting for you? Fucking Goodyear blimp with
And
deuces.
with that,
Goodbye.
Oh no, I assume we're out
Goodbye
by
and good
now.
luck.
Oh,
Hashtag-
stop the publication.
I'm jumping.
Hashtag Mac and me.
I need to find out who did that Brian Adams ripoff song on that thing. That was beautiful.